Excuse me. Were you a student athlete?
Yes.
What sport did you play?
I ran track.
What's your fondest memory about being a student athlete?
Traveling and meeting new people.
Okay. What's something you don't miss about being a student athlete?
The workouts.
Now, we understand how important hard work is, but what kind of advice would you give student athletes aside from hard work to get better at their sport?
I would say being mentally tough because the physical is easy, but the mental part of being an athlete is probably the difficult part of it because you have a lot of different things coming at you from a lot of different areas. But if you can keep your mentality and your spirituality strong, then you'll be able to overcome all the other stuff.
Now, what kind of advice would you give student athletes that have nothing to do with their sport at all that they can really jump on?
I would say that if you are a faith type of person, that you really need to hold on to your faith because in sports there are a lot of people who are going to try to test your character and make you somebody that you're not, or just kind of push you in areas that you don't want to be in. But if you hold on to who you are, what your characters are, your character traits, and your faith, then you'll be able to, navigate through all of that.
Yeah. A lot of student athletes struggle with mental health as it relates to just their identity beyond their sport. What kind of advice would you give them to really develop who they are when that sport is not there to lean upon?
I love that question. Just kind of staying true to other things that you're interested in. Like I ran track. Sometimes you have your environment and people around you who are encouraging you to go to the next level, and we know that not everybody makes it to the next level. So just having other interests and other things that you're interested in and can get into would be a good way to, not fall into the pits of not having your sport to lean on.
Gotcha. Two more questions. So, are there any potholes that you maybe fell in while you've been a student athlete, and how could you advise student athletes to avoid that and be better moving forward?
I guess the biggest thing now for athletes now is falling into the comparison game, especially with all the social media and the stuff that they see on TV. If you just stay true to who you are and just try to navigate not paying attention to all of that, if you know who you are at the core, you don't get caught up in all that other stuff.
Yeah. And my last question is, what's some last minute encouragement you would provide for student athletes just to really maximize their time while being a student athlete, but also set them up for future after their eligibility has elapsed?
I would say just enjoy the moment that you're in, because when you start to push past like future and 10 years and 12 years down the line, you kind of miss where you are. So just be excited about where you are and take everything a day at a time.